I'm very excited to be sitting here with Micheal Julian, aka MJ. MJ is the CEO and director of Seer Assets. MJ, how are you?
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank
Thanks for
you.
having me.
Yeah. So first of all, MJ, you are a man of many hats. Can you start by telling us a little bit about everything that you do, Seer Assets and beyond?
I don't remember everything that I do. I can tell you about some of the more important things. So I have co-founded a company called Seer Assets, and we do a lot of things. Some of the focus is shifted on providing marketing, specifically in live events. The biggest projects at the moment are Made Event, which is a New York-based promoter that this year we'll do 80 shows locally,
Wow.
and a major festival was Electric Zoo, among other things. And then the second big one is Elrow, which is a Spanish-based brand. And my team is focused on importing the brand into the United States and Canada and North America in general.
Wow, very exciting. So these days, there are numerous event brands all striving to provide their attendees with a unique experience. So that's something that Elrow seems to do extremely well. Could you talk a little bit about what you do that you are able to do that so successfully?
Well, I was very lucky to walk in on this success story in a moment where I saw it was going to take off, and I think the rest of the world was just trying to understand Juan and Cruz's vision. Um, the idea is quite simple. You want to legitimately create an experience so that the fans that are there are able to leave knowing that it was something special, because there's a lot of great talent out there, so you can technically go and party away with different artists, but to have an experience where it's immersive and you're surrounded by all kind of craziness and it's never the same, and that's something very special. It adds a lot of value, and it's not very easy to first understand. When I just first had my conversation with Juan, I thought this guy is a brilliant creative marketer who created this crazy gimmick that will differentiate Elrow from everything else. But the minute I actually went to my first Elrow show, I realized it's really not a gimmick. It's a true experience, and everything is designed to give the fan that immersiveness, so that you're surrounded by a real show. So, not like a Circus du Soleil with nightclub, but something very unique. And I don't think anybody in the world right now is doing it. And I think, it's not about my opinion or anyone else's. It's the fans keep coming back, and the attendance is growing worldwide, and we're able to, import in a lot more countries, and that speaks to the product, that the product works. I think that the mission is always to focus on the fan, and the team never saves a dollar and kind of goes all in to make sure that that is a real experience, and no one can ever say that they've chipped out, they've taken steps to make it work, which isn't easy. When you bring in something like this worldwide, there's so many things in play, and the cost is astronomical. So it takes a really smart and creative team to make it work, and that's what this brand has. It's got the best people behind it, and that's why I was happy to jump in, and I'm on this journey with them together, and it's really family vibes. So it's really nice.
Very cool. And I can speak to everything that MJ just said. I had the opportunity to go to the Elrow event at Encore Beach Club here in Vegas the other day, and I got to tell you, I've gone to Encore before, and I couldn't even recognize the venue. I mean, totally transformed. Pillars were not that were usually there, were something else. They were trees and performers and things like that. It was really, really cool. So this week you'll be talking on a panel about international expansion. In terms of expansion, we don't see a lot of foreign event or party brands expand into the US. I feel like I hear more about the other way around. So what are some of the challenges in expanding into the US market, and how are you maneuvering them?
Yeah, I've been lucky to be on both sides. So we had Electric Zoo go to China, Japan, Mexico, Brazil, and I kind of see from both sides. It's very different. Importing into states, the challenge that I thought we were going to face is that house music fan base might not find the performance, the theatrical part of Elrow, to their likings, because the house music, underground house music in States, it's a very interesting and amazing audience that I know very well, and you know, they're more into this dark, proper house music techno environments. So, you know, it's become clearly that the first thing I had to do was rethink about who is going to be the audience in the United States, and how can we get people that love music and love to dance but may not be necessarily familiar with the names that we book, and not big house music fans. How do we get them in and then kind of get them to love the whole experience, including the music? And that was kind of our strategy. And what we've done is we did a show in New York for 850 people, which was a sold out smaller event. And we realized, based on gauging interest on socials and just feedback in general, that there is not enough people yet in New York to attend Elrow on the scale we would want to do it. So we actually spent a year telling the story and educating the fans what Elrow is, what it stands for. We've told the story about the family, how the brand got started, and that allowed us to really connect with the fans. They understand that this was built with the hands of people who are ravers themselves, and they were making an experience for their friends. That's how Elrow started, and then it kind of grew into this powerhouse right now. When you go to Vegas, it's not the same as New York. You have to adjust somewhat. You go to Miami, it's not the same as New York. You have to adjust. You go somewhere during a week like a Miami Music Week, it's not the same audience. You rely on locals less, so you do have to make adjustments. But I think that going to New York first and not trying to spread our wings too much gave us a better way to understand how this can work in North America.
Sure.
And then we've grown in New York a lot, and we're applying what we learned in New York to now expand in other markets. And we got this residency in Vegas, which is great. But we do have a lot of promoters in other cities that are waiting for us to be able to go into, Chicago, DC, Toronto. Tons of other cities are now contacting us and saying, hey, Orlando is ready, San Diego is ready. So we are being very careful, because we do not want to produce something that isn't 100% Elrow experience, because it doesn't work.
Right.
And what we need to do is we need to focus on the audiences that we know will understand what the product is, and let them be our ambassadors and kind of spread the word and get the people that'll enjoy the show in.
Very interesting. So as 2019 comes to a close, what are some of the highlights that you're looking back on?
For the brand, I mean, Elrow Town, we don't have it in States yet, but that's a festival brand. It's really growing now in the multiple cities, and it's selling big numbers, and having our own festival is really a big deal, and that's only going to grow. This year, the family is bringing back Manegros Festival, which will take place in a desert in Spain on August 1st. So everyone is very excited about that. Honestly, can't wait for that. I've never experienced it myself, so I'm excited. It hasn't been around for a couple of years now, so it's a comeback. And then, in States, Vegas residency was a highlight, because, Vegas has a lot of similarities to Ibiza. People come here, it's a capital of entertainment. And people come here from other markets of North America, and kind of loving the experience, and they go back to their hometowns and telling their friends, and that's the highlight. That's what we wanted. Vegas was on my top list from the beginning, and we got here a lot quicker than I thought. So that's something we are very happy and proud of.
Yeah, well, congrats on all the successes.
Thank you.
Where can people find more about all the work that you're doing?
Well, soon enough. We'll launch a website. At the moment, we're focused on private clients, and it's a little bit kind of doing things on the background. And then what we have decided to do is, as promoters for many years, we've come to a lot of challenges, and we were looking for solutions, appropriate solutions that we as promoters can use. And what we found is that it's difficult to find an affordable tech or an affordable solution to solve the problems that we have. So we started building those tools ourselves, and we're not really developing company, we're not tech people. So we started very primitive, but slowly but surely we've been developed to a lot of this little product tools that are helping us be better promoters. So what we want to do is we want to launch a company that's going to be able to work with other promoters that are experiencing the same challenging as we have, but now we will have a solution that we've developed, and we've developed them as promoters, so we completely understand what is the problem that needs to be solved, and I'm very excited about launching that. We call the company Seer Assets because we're planning to release many different projects that are going to be synergetic and can work in combination or even solo to help festival producers, live event producers, and also build our own brands where the focus is on creating new type of micro tribes in the community of festival worlds and travels. That's my personal passion, and we want to go that route as well.
Well, that all sounds very exciting, and I'm sure we'll hear a lot about it in 2020.
You will.
Well, MJ, thank you so much for taking the time again.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.